Paul, what's your opinion on the Nick Diaz situation?
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's messed up. I think he's been villainized. I think he's been targeted. Yeah, it's real messed up. I feel bad for him, but you know, I'm sure something will be worked out because there's too much of a uprising, too much attention on it. I think you know, there's a stark contrast between how previous fighters have been punished. You know, John Jones got sent to rehab. Anderson Silva got 1 year, even though these are greats. Who else is there? A few guys have got lesser punishment. So I think even though he's a reoffender, I think Diaz deserves a lesser sentence. Really messed up. I hate to see it because, you know, his income is his fighting, so he can't put food on the table. So I feel bad for him because I'd hate to be in that position. So it's cool.
5 years will retire a fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Do you feel like the athletic commission's on a power trip?
There's got to be something. They must have some ulterior motive with the 5-year ban, whether it's to prove a point or whether, you know, some other stuff's going on. I don't know.
You know, I'm not condoning anything he did. It's my opinion that, you know, it's wrong that they're executing the way they are. It just shows favoritism. How Anderson only gets what, a year, and Diaz gets 5 years. Doesn't make sense. It just shows favoritism. I know those guys just need to make better decisions with their career. You know, I've been fighting for 18 years, and to date, I've been tested every single one of my fights, and I've never have done anything. I just work hard and I try to prevail. And the surgeries I've been through, I've had back surgeries, 2 knee surgeries, 2 neck surgeries, eye surgery, but I just got to have the heart and the will to do it. You got to put in the hard work. Don't look for any shortcuts, and that's what these guys are looking for, shortcuts. You know, and I exempt Diaz from taking those shortcuts. You know, he has a license for what he does, and I'm not condoning and saying it's right, but still, it's a little much of what they try to do.
I think 5 years is a little harsh, but at the same time, you know, if you've been spinning once, twice, 3 times, you know, you're getting free and tested with a high amount of weight in your system. You know, obviously it's you know, I think he should have maybe calmed it down a little bit, but definitely not 5 years. That's
free Nick Diaz.
But what goes through your head when guys are testing positive for steroids on multiple accounts and they're not getting half that sentence or that punishment?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's politics, you know, just looking for a reason to stir up some problems, I think, you know, and you know, some of these athletes now, you know, do steroids because they feel like that's going to give them the edge, and you know, but then when we smoke a little bud, you know, which doesn't make us do anything but want to relax and chill and have some deep conversations and eat some snacks, you know, we get in trouble for it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's backwards, you know, but you know, it is what it is, and you know, so you know, that's the rules. You know, I got to follow the rules. You know, I've paid, you know, and I've changed so that I don't have to pay again.
Free Nick Diaz. That's all I gotta say. I hope that he takes to a higher level of court and beats them. It's just the whole thing made no sense. You know what I'm saying? He passed the test, failed a test, to pass another test. Makes no sense. 2 of the tests they passed was through USADA/WADA, so something's wrong right there. Free Nick Diaz.
He said he had a hard time keeping his cool while Pat Lundvall was kind of insulting him. You kind of dealt with the same type of situation. What was going through your head when Pat was kind of making a mockery of you?
I shut down a little bit, and I tried to black it out, and then later I just tweeted, called her a bitch on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ask me if I could. I gave him a biography. I told him I was a college-educated student, well-traveled. I can speak English. She heard me speaking English and reading the whole time I was there. For her to ask me that question, especially me being from the South, you got to realize I'm from the South. I got this, can you speak English? Oh, you speak Ebonics type stuff. Oh, you're an athlete, you ain't smart type stuff my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Pat Lundvall better get it right. You see, she changed the game up because she didn't ask Overeem that question. And Overeem's from a different country. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. She didn't ask Overeem that question.
What needs to change in the NSAC?
I think they should run like a true court. They should have like have them there questioning, have like a judge, and then have like peers, not peers, but have like people on the outside, like just a jury or something like that. Do something different. It has to change because they're the judge, jury, and execution.
I've said this several times. I think that there's been talk about organizations regulating like the drug testing with outside regulations. We've talked about this before. Lance Armstrong was the top guy in the cycling industry, and he had failed several drug tests, or he had basically been accused of higher levels of testosterone, higher levels of, you know, red blood count cells and stuff like that. So my thought process is that it's funny how the top talent hasn't been exposed, but then you have someone like Nick, who I consider one of the top talents, but who's on a losing streak right now, fighting the best guys like Anderson Silva, guys who've been convicted of cheating, and he's getting a longer suspension than guys that he's fought that had tested positive several times, not once, twice, 3 times, all within a short period of time. So I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I think there should have been a penalty, but I mean, 5 years, you're giving a guy, he can't live. This is the way he's made his living his whole career, his whole life, and you've just taken that away from him. He'll be, I don't know how old he'll be when he's done, but I can't imagine it being any younger than 35.
Real quick, what do you think of the Nick Diaz situation?
I don't know what's going on.